Greetings, Chem 2 students. Mr. Keister here with you again. This is the video for Friday, September 25th, 2020, which is our scheduled 26th day of school for the fall semester. Always keep in mind, though, the dates could change for a variety of reasons, but the lessons and the order that the lessons are presented will remain the same regardless. So, today's video is quite short. Yes, I hear applause scattered throughout the room. Someone's even giving me a standing ovation over there. And the reason for that is, though, is because we have a test coming up very soon. In fact, we have one coming up this Monday. So let's get to the do-nows of the schedule and see what's what with all that. So there were no papers to pick up today. Yesterday, you guys did the nuclear spectrometry lab. This was the online version, as I explained yesterday. Under normal circumstances, we would have had the lab equipment here from Purdue. They do that on loan for high school, which is very nice because that equipment is very expensive and fragile too. But again, due to COVID-19, they had to suspend that program temporarily for everyone's safety, of course. And so we have an online version, or had an online version for you to do, and it's pretty darn good, if I do say so. So anyway, hopefully you got that finished. Nice to hear that. Oh well. But anyway, if you did not finish that, I think you should have, but since you did it online. But if for some reason you didn't, make sure that you get all the data tables completely filled out and all the questions answered, and turn that lab in by the end of the period today, by the end of the period. So if you're home, then you would need to submit that to me electronically by the end of your class period today, all right? I do have answer key posted with sample data on it that I took when I did the lab myself. Of course, that's posted here on the board in my room. Also, that is posted also on the answer keys page in Canvas. When you're finished with Lab 2.2, hopefully you already are, then you need to finish your Unit 2.2 review, which you got a day before yesterday. Although it's technically due today by the end of the period, again, I don't collect those until the exam day, so I will be collecting that on Monday. If you finish it today, though, let me take a quick look at it, and then you can check your answers before you leave, which would be a very wise thing to do, of course. Otherwise, you can check first thing Monday morning when it's posted. So again, our exam for Unit 2, remember this is a combined exam for Unit 2.1 and 2.2. And so you had a review from Unit 2.1 that was done a week or so ago, and then of course Unit 2.2 is what you've done now. So the test is over both of those units. So this is what you need to know. Let me advance the page here. Go. So the exam is Monday. Study your 2 notes packets, Unit 2.1 and Unit 2.2, as well as, sorry about that, as well as your 2 review assignments for 2.1 and 2.2, and any other assignments or activities that we completed. Here's what you need to know right here. There are 47 questions on this exam, all right, 47. 33 of those 47 are multiple choice. On several of those, however, you will be required to show some work, and that will be explained, of course, on the exam. 14 out of the 47 questions will involve either filling out a chart, calculations involving average atomic mass, balancing nuclear equations, or calculations involving radioactive decay, half-life problems. Okay, so 14 questions are not multiple choice. These are the topics that will be covered from Unit 2.1 on the periodic table and atomic mass. Knowing the scientists and the significant aspects of their discoveries that were presented in class and in the notes. They were also on some videos that you were supposed to have watched. All right. Knowing the specifics of Dalton's atomic theory, there were 4 points to his theory, and which of those 4 points were later modified and why. Knowing the location of the nucleus and the electron cloud within an atom, as well as the location, charge, and relative mass of the 3 subatomic particles, proton, neutron, and electron. Knowing how to interpret the periodic table in regard to atomic number, average mass number or average atomic mass, and the number of protons, electrons, and average number of neutrons. These questions will also include filling out a chart, all right? Some of the questions will be multiple choice, and one of those will involve filling out a chart, like you've done before. Next, recognizing what the isotopes of a particular element are, how they're alike, how they're different, and how to write an isotope notation, all right? Make sure you know how to do that. Remember, you use the symbol. Upper left is the mass number of that isotope. Lower left is the atomic number of the element. Next, calculating the average atomic mass of an element given its isotopes and relative abundances of each. This will be a calculation problem. Okay. Interpreting data from a mass spectrometer and answering questions and doing calculations from it. Of course, there'll be a calculation involved with that one too. And then from Unit 2.2, nuclear chemistry. Again, knowing the scientists and significant aspects of their discoveries that were presented in class and in the notes regarding nuclear chemistry. There were also some videos for you to watch there as well. Knowing the description, mass, charge, ability to travel distances, and relative damaging effects, comparatively speaking to each other, of the nuclear particles that we discussed: alpha, beta, gamma, positrons, and neutrons. Knowing how to write isotope notations for the isotopes of various elements and the above mentioned nuclear particles. That will be crucial when it comes to not only answering some multiple choice questions involving those particles, but also balancing some nuclear equations, which you will be doing, as is on the next point. Knowing how to write and balance a nuclear equation, including knowing what is involved with alpha, beta, gamma, and positron emission. There will be 9 equations for you to balance, 9, okay? And then finally, solving problems involving half-life and radioactive decay. You will have to know how to do both the chart method and the logarithmic method. Now, for the logarithmic method, the equation will be provided, all right? You won't have to memorize the equation. So there'll be 2 calculation problems involving that, all right? Now, just as an FYI, you, of course, will be allowed to use your periodic table on the test. However, you cannot have written anything on it. It must be clean. So if you've written on your periodic table, that's fine. I don't want you to erase it. But you will have to get a clean one from me when you take the exam. And also, you'll be allowed to use your Appendix 12, which is your half-life chart handout regarding the half-lives of various isotopes. Of course, you need that when doing the half-life problems, the decay problems that we just mentioned. And again, that would also have to be a clean Appendix 12, nothing written on that either, okay? So, having said all that, I think that's about all I need to say. The rest is up to you. So this is a pretty long test, all right? You don't want to dilly-dally around and getting here, I can tell you that. Remember, if you come to class with your review in hand, ready to give to me, rather than having to dig through your book bag for it, and you get here early, I don't care if you get here 2, 3, 4 minutes early, you hand me the review, I hand you the exam, and off you go, and away you go, start right away, all right? You might need the extra couple of minutes, who knows? Of course, there'll be a bonus question too, there always is, and that, of course, would factor into your time, all right? So, having said all that, I think that's it. So, this is Mr. Keister signing off. Until next time, stay safe, focus, keep working hard, and be ready for this exam. Until then, see you guys. Take care.